She is.
It's time for you to tell Kate what your decision is.
Here she
Do you want to stay married
is.
to her? Or do you want to get a divorce?
Here she is. All right. Hi, Cotton Candy Cutie. Hey, girl. Hey, Tabitha, Mona. Hey, Germany. Shout out to Mona in Germany. Hi, Kihinde and Charlie, Leslie, Summer. Hey, you guys. So this is, you're hearing Luke. Let's put that on mute. We're done with his vocal fry. We don't want to hear him speak anymore.
Completely devastated.
You're not devastated. All right, you guys. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Hey, guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to another episode of my review of Married at First Sight. This is season 8, episode 14. It's the D-Day. It's the finale. It is the day we have finally been waiting for. At least I've been waiting for. It's here. Okay, let's lower this down. We don't need it to be that bright. And so I just want everybody to file in because we're going to talk about Married at First Sight. We're going to get into the kiki of this episode. I'm just rewatching it again. I really didn't watch this episode. I literally just fast forwarded to everybody's answers. I want to hear what Pastor Cal has to say just real quick though, because I think he dropped some nuggets in Luke and Kate's situation. So let's listen to this. Let's rewind it a little bit.
I think and
thank you for liking.
It's very hard to tell someone that you care about that you want to get a divorce from them.
Mm.
I did this to find love, and now that it's over, I'm completely devastated. I didn't think I would be divorced at decision day.
I fight for marriages. I normally do.
This is Pastor Cal.
But not this time.
Exactly.
I think that you're healthier apart. And Kate, I believe you need someone who really wants to be married to you, who really desires you. Because you're pretty special.
I put so much work into this.
All right. So there we are with that. That's where we're going to stop with that. So let's jump right into Luke and Kate since we're on them, you know. Let's start on them. So I got my notes. All right, everyone's here. Everyone's good. Go on ahead and give this video a like. There are 42 people in this room, 22 likes, and let's go. All right. So, does anybody want to be a moderator? Anybody that can do it, like Jesse or Mona, just because I know you guys. Lisa, hey girl, I got your email, Lisa. Anybody want to be a moderator? Let me know from those people so that I can make you guys monitor. Okay, Jesse, I got you. Thanks. That is a moderator. Okay, great. So thank you so much for doing this, Jesse. Happy Luke. So we first come up with Luke and he has his own little camera, and Kate has already gotten out of the apartment. They're in their like separation phase so they can make the decision. And he says to the camera that he wishes that Kate were there so that they could talk more before D-Day. And I'm just like, you just want to strategize with her, Luke. You just want to tell her what not to say, how you're going to say it so that everyone comes out looking clean. And I know Luke knows he has a bad edit. I know he does. He knows he has a bad edit, and I think that he is trying to like come out of this good. And I'm just, you know, unfortunately, it's not going to work. This is TV. They're gonna want to see the messy just as much as they see the romantic fun side of it. So if you allowed yourself to be messy on camera, if you did things and said things that were crazy, then those are things that are going to be highlighted. And I felt like it was some kind of emotional. Torture is like an extreme word, but emotional. There's a word for it. Emotional, like. playing on her emotions by, I think, low-key trying to make her feel guilty for talking to production about what's going on. Like, she's the one who wanted to reach out for help and to get the assistance of the experts, but he would stop her from doing that and then make her feel guilty, like emotional guilt or something like that, you know, making her feel like, you know, we can do this on our own, yet the ship is sinking and he's over there like with a martini talking about we can do it on our own, and she's trying to plug up the hole, and he's just like, no, it's fine, it's not sinking, it's not sinking, they see there's water in here. Like, it's like he wouldn't let her ask for help, and she ended up asking for help anyway, and then he ended up getting mad at her and making her feel the lowest she's ever felt in this process. Like, he just needed to stay true to who he was from Jump Street. And he should have said from the beginning, after week 1, after week 2. I mean, like, when do you say it, though? I mean, if you're really trying to get, like, in his defense, to play devil's advocate, if you're really trying to give this whole process some like, time to grow, when do you cut it off? When you're having sex with her and you feel dead inside? Maybe that's the point. That's the place. Like, it's just definitely, yes, you guys, definitely emotional abuse and emotional manipulation. And also definitely gaslighting. You guys are, yes, Nicole, yes, Pretty Brown Eyes, Keisha, thank you. And so I feel like he's just a manipulator, and maybe it was on purpose and maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's just a survival tactic for him, you know? Like, I don't want to necessarily paint Luke as being a bad person. I just think in this scenario, it did not work well for him. It didn't work well for us as an audience member. And now I think all of us super singles are going to be really aware of men like that. If someone's making you feel crazy, then it probably isn't you. It's probably them. And you just need to get out of it. So he's saying that he's happy about getting to know Kate, that he's feeling better about it now. And I honestly think he just doesn't want to fail at this experiment. He didn't want to fail at it, but his body failed at it, you know? He said that she feels like Kate loves Luke's sense of humor, his drive, the fact that he's caring. And she says that within this past week, she could actually tell that he liked her. Like, there was something about this past week that I think really left off or made her feel comfortable with where they could go. But I'm like, girl, you can't base this decision off the past week. You need to base it off of like everything combined. And so then they sit in front of on the couch in front of the experts, and Luke starts to talk about what he finds attractive about Kate. I don't remember what was the catalyst to him starting this, but this is what he says. I find it attractive that we are on the same page. I don't have to say stuff. You just know what I'm talking about already, which is attractive. She put in the time and the work to get to know me. And Pastor Cal is like, so Kate, what did you hear in that? And Kate's like, I heard everything besides what it actually is to be attractive to somebody. Like, and I'm like, thank you, Kate. Don't read in between the lines. Literally listen to what he just said. I find it attractive that we are on the same page. Not I find your eyes attractive. I find the dip in your hip attractive. I find the curve of your shoulder. I like the lines in your clavicle. Like, there was nothing that he says that was like actual signs of attractiveness. I mean, you can be attracted to someone because of the fact that they like you. But it's very shallow. You can be attracted to somebody or find someone super attractive because you don't have to think or you don't have to speak when you're around them and they just know what you think. I find that super attractive. Like, so shallow. So what's missing, Kate? Everything that has to do with attraction. So then Dr. Pepper says, can I ask a question? Like, how are you guys even having sex? How is that possible if you weren't attracted to her? And Luke was like, well, let's just skip that question. And then Dr. Jessica, who like, P.S., who are you? Who are you? Dr. Jessica was like, Kate can answer that question if she wants to. Thanks, Luke. Thanks. And Luke is like, at least the music made it seem like he was like, you know, those sound effects are like, pew, pew, like, and Kate says, you know, I think he was just doing it to make me happy. Like, he just did it because he knew I wanted sex. And I'm like, what? Like, that's so, like, if he didn't want to have sex with her, he should have got out of this. I feel bad for him that he tried to stay in a situation where you didn't want, I mean, and women do it all the time. I'm not saying that doesn't make it right. But women do that all the time in marriages. And, you know, usually it's because of financial situations, like they can't leave girl. But Luke should have left. Luke should have left instead of just making her feel bad, you know? And Pastor Cal ends up saying that normally I fight for relationships, but I'm not going to fight for this relationship. You guys are going to be healthy and better individuals without each other. And so I would like for you, like, I think it's good that you get a divorce. And he keeps saying, like, I like being around you. You get me. And I find that attractive. I'm like, shh. Stop saying that, Luke. It just makes you sound so self-involved and so selfish, which is your right to be, but not in this situation. It's crazy. All right. So what were you guys saying over here? I don't understand why they just didn't watch this happen. They saw it all and let it roll. You mean the production team? I mean, it's about TV. I think the production team is different than the like expert team, you know? I feel like Ellsworth had the side bets and who was going to stay together. They might. Some feel it's better to have a piece of a man than no man at all. Chessie, you know what's so funny? I was dating a guy who I feel like emotionally has been the best guy I've ever dated. Like, we got along great when it came to like emotions and stuff. But anyways, he used to tell me all that. He used to tell me that too. He's like, 10% of something is better than 0% of nothing. And I was like, what? And this is him trying to convince me that it was okay for him to have his girlfriend. When I found out about her, and I was like, what do you, no, how? He's like, well, we can still, no. And 10% of something is better than 0% of nothing. And I was like, this man actually believes this. Like, he actually said it to me. That's how I know he believes it, because we had such a good relationship that like him saying something like that and not believing it, I would be like, bullshit. But I was like, oh no, you really believe that? No, I can't do that. But there are people who really, really believe that. And I'm not one of those people. I just like hanging on. It feels like you're just hanging on by two fingers, you know, not even your strong fingers. You're hanging on by like these fingers, like hanging on to like a ledge or whatever, and not even being able to like sustain yourself. It's so crazy to me. But by hook or by crooks, people have to, you know, do what they have to do to feel good. All right. So obviously they both said they wanted a divorce, and we were all happy for it. And, you know, cue the sound effect of people cheering. Yay! Yeah. That's it for Luke and Kate. At the end of the day, it's the experts' fault for not listening to what they wanted. They chose the couples for good TV. You know what, Sabine? I think that the people manipulate what they think of themselves and what they want. And it takes a very strong person, a very intuitive person to actually know who they are. To know who you are, you have to constantly be asking yourself why you do things or why you think the way you think. And if you're not doing that constantly, I mean like every day, if you're not thinking about why you did something or why you're doing something or why you feel anger or why you whatever, then like you are not checking in with yourself to see what's up. And you don't necessarily know yourself because of that. And I feel like a lot of people don't. And then they say, I'm ready for love. I'm ready for this thing. And they just like put out what they think they want. Because it's easy to like click a box, right? And then you get that, but it's not in the right packaging, you know, or it's not delivered to you in the way you're used to receiving it. And then it's like, oh, I didn't ask for that. Kate is probably exactly who Luke said he wanted on paper. And maybe he was a little too, not shallow, but the opposite of that. Maybe he was trying to be open and saying that he would be open to anybody physically, when he should have, if he'd really known himself, then he would have known like, no, I'm not going to be attracted to this certain thing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they, depending on how open the person is or how much the person knows each other, they may give false information based on what they want. And I feel like that's the case that happened with Luke and Jasmine. So let's segue over to Luke and Jasmine. To Jasmine and Will. So Jasmine and Will. this was really sad for me. And it's not because I was like expecting them to stay together. I thought they were going to break up, but I thought that I thought they were going to come to it amicably. So I think that I feel like from Will's standpoint, because remember, I didn't like Jasmine for most of this. Like, I was team Will for most of this. And then I started to realize like what was happening by actually believing the things that Jasmine was saying. Like when she said that he wasn't affectionate with her and that they haven't had sex, or when she was saying certain things, I just thought it was her being kind of bitchy just because of the initial onset of like 50-50 and her being so kind of adamant about it and in a way that I just personally don't understand, you know? So I guess I judged her for that. And I kind of deemed her like, not a princess, and like, because there's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, but I felt that she was highlighting things about Will she didn't like and was saying stuff about it, as opposed to just being positive through this experience. Because I think that through this experience, you just have to be positive. Like you have to be positive through it. You can't. Oh, thank you so much, Kahinde, for that super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel like you can't, throughout this process, I feel like you can't harp on what's bad, because then you do what Will did. And this is what Jasmine said Will did. Oh, if you guys didn't watch it, they sat on the couches and Jasmine wanted to stay in the relationship even though it had problems, and Will wanted to leave the relationship even though he said he agreed with her. It was very weird. So we'll get back to it. Will was on a countdown, and Jasmine said this. She said that he was kind of lining things up, and if she didn't check off all the boxes, he was going to end this relationship. Like, he had always thought of it as like a very viable option, whereas Jasmine had come into the scenario being like, it doesn't matter, we're going to work through it. We're going to be who I'm not going to do the divorce. We're just going to figure it out. And so now that leads me to believe or understand why she, to me, from what I felt, came so hard. Like, that's why she was just always saying how she truly felt about everything, because in her mind, she's like, you need to get to know who I am. And this is who I am, because we're not getting a divorce. We're going to work through and we're going to figure it out. So here's who I am. And I think if that's what happened, then I see what was going on. Like, she just wanted to be herself, because I mean, even if you think back to the their motor scooters or whatever they were riding, the RTVs or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. The ATVs, and she like fell over. Like, he didn't like immediately get off of his thing to like go figure it out or like start yelling or anything. He was like very much like just looking paralyzed almost. And like, I don't know. I just feel like her reaction to him and being frustrated, she was very much like, you didn't even try to save me. And I was like, okay, like, she's upset, but saying whatever it is that she feels like saying, which is fine. But for both parties, I thought their reactions were wrong. And now I'm starting to see that while Jasmine to me seemed a little annoying, I think she was doing the things that she was doing and saying the things that she was saying in order to just be her most authentic self with her husband, the person that was going to have to get to know this side of her anyway. You get what I'm saying? And I think that because he was never really affectionate to her, she didn't know where to go from there. Like, all the things that clues that she's used to getting, she wasn't getting. So it just makes me feel bad. So that's what she said, gender roles. So they're sitting on the couch, and Jasmine says that he always wants her to agree when they're debating. And that, you know, the physical intimacy was a problem, but she brought it up to him and then he solved it. And so that the way that she operates, that she's a debater and she wants to have this conversation and argue or debate. And he doesn't necessarily want that. He just wants her to, at some point, just to agree with him. And she just wouldn't do that. She wouldn't be the woman that I guess that he thinks he needs. And then she says that she wants him to have financial goals. She wants him to have career goals so for the future, because that's really what she's concerned about. It's like, how are you going to protect your family in the future if you don't have these goals? And I guess I just thought he was a financial analyst, which I don't know what that means, but I assumed he made pretty good money. I assumed that was his career. So I'm not sure what she's talking about. And I wasn't against him being a coach. Like, I was like, go for your dream. So I don't know if they just never, I really would like to understand their conversation when it came to finances and what the problem was. I mean, I know that'd be way too much in everybody's business, but I kind of just wish that I could know so that I would understand what it is that she's talking about. When she says that he doesn't have that and that she wants him to have that for the future. And then she also says that this experiment, this 7 weeks is not enough time, and that she feels like if they had had enough time that they would have been able to grow together. So she wanted to stay together and works it out. And then so she said she would stay in it. She wanted to stay in the relationship. And then he goes to him and he says that he agrees with her. And so we, in the beginning, feel like he's agreeing with what she's saying and that he says they could benefit from a longer time spent together. But his issue is communication. And so because of that, he wants a divorce. And I'm just like, so you don't think that your communication would get better along with the other things that you think are going to get better if you stay in this longer? Like, Will completely checked out, y'all. Like, I don't know if it was when she didn't want him to be a coach. I don't know if it was when she was nitpicking his light-skinned pancakes. I don't know when it happened, but Will checked the fuck out and was just like, this is how this person isn't meeting my needs. And I just, like, I'm like, ooh, he needs his own therapy. Like, he needs to go to therapy and figure that out, because I feel like he divorced her because he didn't want to put in the work. That's the only reason why. I think that in his mind, whoever he marries is going to be easy peasy. And then Dr. Cal says that him being with Jasmine is going to level him up. I mean, he didn't say those words. He said something about, what did he say? Pastor Cal is annoyed. He says Jasmine's contribution to their relationships are going to be stratospheric. So I'm like, girl, what Jasmine bringing to the sitch? You know, they had alluded to the fact that she probably made more money to him in one of the earlier episodes, but I was just like, oh, Pastor Cal is like, bruh, you giving up this level up? Which then makes me think that Will was just too weak for Jasmine. Hey, she's allowed to change her mind. Was Will too weak for Jasmine? Was Will too weak for Jasmine, y'all? Could he not handle all her majesty? I told you I like the way she dressed. All of a sudden I'm not, Jasmine's my friend. But that, like, is that what did we just watch before our very eyes a black man buckle under the pressure of a strong black woman? Did we just watch that? Oh my God. That makes me so sad. I mean, I get it. I know that there were things that were happening that he was just like over, and the whole situation with her not supporting him being a coach is like, come on, sis, you know, come on. He didn't say he wanted to be like a dairy farmer, but anyways, like, 'cause that's hard. You can't even break into dairy farming. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's like, I would like to plant strawberries. You know, like, he wanted to be a coach. Like, I feel like that is worth your time. That's worth your time, I feel. Especially if you are already at where you're supposed to be, sis. You can still have your kid. You could do it. You could do your career until things, I don't know, girl. I guess it really depends on how much you feel as a woman that you should be taken care of. And I don't feel that I should be taken care of. Now, whether that is because it's just never been my life experience, so how can I feel something that I've never experienced or ever been close to experiencing? True. But still, I'm like, I never think about splitting rent with any person, any house, any apartment. I'm always like, oh, I'm going to buy by myself. So I just want her to think that, and then she could get with Will, and Will's shortcomings won't bother her because she's like, I got it. You know? I mean, that's not an excuse. I feel like I just talked myself out of it. I talked myself the other way and made it seem like it was Jasmine's fault for that not working. That's not what I'm saying. I just am like, that's probably what would need to happen. And I think that sucks. I think that she should be able to feel like a princess. And it sucks that the patriarchy is the way it is. And it sucks that Will thinks that, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get set up with an expert has set you up with, and you're going to say no to that so you can find some other person? And then embarrass the girl on national TV? Who wants to be with Will? I mean, there are probably a lot of women who probably do. But like that means he's just going to be even more picky. Oh, okay. I think that Jasmine might not want to deal with what would likely transpire with him eventually being insecure if she made more. Oh yeah, girl. This is what I just in this moment came up with the idea that he was felt belittled by her or intimidated by her. I didn't even think about it this whole time. So I'm still processing it, you know. The instance that he provides for her was a complete turnoff for him, it seems. Yeah, I think that maybe the honeymoon girl's a complete, wow, he's been sitting on this for a long time. So anyways, Pastor Cal is annoyed. All the judges are upset and they're like crying too. Jasmine says the line about Will having a timeline, and that she thinks that he was just waiting for his needs to be met. And the fact that his needs weren't met meant that he was going to get a divorce, and which is selfish, she felt. And I was like, you know what? If because of these two and they did go through that process, it was a selfish choice. I mean, but I'm not saying that it was a bad or wrong or good choice, because maybe he saved her having to deal with his insecurities, you know? So I just feel bad for Jasmine in general. I feel like that sucks. She was willing to push through. And I wonder if he had to, like, even if he came into the situation with him wanting to get a divorce, like, did he tell a producer, or did did they sign it in stone that they had to have that? Because I feel like based on what she said, he should have just changed his mind and been like, yeah, I'm going to stick in this with her. You get what I'm saying? Like, why didn't he got the luxury of going second. I feel like that would have happened if it had been the other way around. If he had gone first and he had said divorce, Jasmine would have been like, yeah, a divorce. Like, why look stupid on TV? I don't know. All right, so let's move on to, anyone have anything else to say about Jasmine? I wanted to be with him at first. Yeah, I think he was praying. He was like, please say divorce, please say divorce, please say divorce. And then she didn't say divorce. Okay, so the next couple that we're going to go on to is AJ and Stephanie. So the only thing I wrote down is that Stephanie says that Stephanie was like, I love him. And AJ, when asked if he loved Stephanie, said, I just think it's something private. At least that's the way they edited it, because that was so weird that he would say that to them. You know, it's just a private moment between us. And I'm like, she just said she loved you. And you just responded that, did you want the first time that you tell her that you love her to be private, surrounded by bird of paradise flowers and like a tropical beach sunset? Like, what did you win? Why did you say that? And then he says in his like little confessionals after that was like, I definitely love Stephanie. She's like a wonderful woman and she gets me. And I'm just like, if you just said that you loved her outside of there, why couldn't you say it there? AJ was so polished, you guys. He was like, he said everything correctly, you know, like you the only thing that is guaranteed is death and taxes. Like, he made it up. I'm like, AJ, you didn't make that up. That's what everybody says. Okay. And then he's like, you know, Stephanie, everything polished. Stephanie and I really respect each other, and she came into my life, and I knew right then and there that we were meant to be together. And this process has been the thing I needed. And I when I signed up for this, like, just so polished. And I was just like, all right, that's who you are. But we've seen your ass, and it's stupid. We have seen AJ's ass, and it is bothered. It is tight. He is upset. I'm not doing this, you know? So I don't want to work out. I shouldn't have to do homework. I'm not at home. Like, he's just such a complainer. But Stephanie is just like, look, when I lay down with you at night and you're holding me, I feel like everything is going to be okay. And I was like, bitch, that's all you could ask for. Yes, Stephanie. That was beautiful. That's all we could ask for. That's all you want. Right? Like, I feel like she's going to manage, because she's that kind of person who just takes on, that is able to like shut down. Like, she will do, if AJ continues that kind of behavior, which I believe he will, she will have different ways of coping with it. One of the ways is going to be how she coped with it at the cabin, where she just goes, oh, I have a headache, I'm going to sleep, you know, and just gets out of the situation. Or it'll be where she stand back and she looks a little awkward. Or it'll be where she tries to just like appease him and smile and look him in his eye deeply and try to get him to calm down. Like, she'll just do those different things because everything else that he does in her life is great. And she trusts him. There is no reason to not trust him. Like, I think that I would deal with someone like AJ if all of those other things, they had their finances together, they fucking had their own business, if they wanted to protect and take care of me, all they want is to get married. So they are all about trust and they're communicative to me. The only thing I have to deal about is when they go into moods or they have like anxiety or something like that. I will be willing to walk somebody through those things and deal with them. Now, would I be mad sometimes? Yes. I'm like, you're always the one, calm down. But like, I would support that for those other attributes that he gives. She's so nice, but I think she's stating it because there's major benefits to it. She's like one of the nicest people I've ever seen on TV, and I regret my comments about her eyebrows. I don't, because I only want the best for her. Okay, so then, yeah, that whole private thing, I was like, AJ is so weird. But that's it for them. All right, and so then we move on to Keith and Christine. I'm going to be honest, they kind of set it up to where Christine was going to say no, and I actually thought she was going to say no for just a little bit. But she said yes. Keith was like over the moon. Keith was like, she makes me better. She improved me as a human being. Like, I feel like I've ascended to another plane. Christine, like, it takes a lot to keep up with Christine and give her all the things she needs, but I want to give it to her. And I'm like, you going ahead and step on up to the motherfucking pitcher's mound, okay? Step on up. Step on up to home plate, Keith. Okay. I talk a lot of shit about you, but okay. I just hope that he stays on that. Because I feel like because he's such a grandma's boy, I hope that he doesn't get tired of it and just like stays, and it just makes him like want to get on that grind even harder. Because I feel like he recognizes the majesty that is Christine. I mean, I like Christine. I thought her hair was better this time. And, you know, we all can't help our edges. But I think that she's a boss AB. I just love the way she has handled herself throughout this entire process. I love the way that their chemistry has worked. And I like that she has expressed herself in the way she expressed herself. But I don't know. I like her mom too. Like, I just think she's a solid ass chick, you know, like, and so I'm happy for her to get somebody who's enthused about giving her all the things that she needs. So I wish them all the best. Keith is definitely moldable. I don't have the spirit in me to mold anybody. Like, I don't have that in my life. I'm trying to like, I have anxiety that paralyzes me from doing things for like months. I can't be with somebody who needs that much molding. I think I'd be frustrated with them. I need somebody to come. I can help them with other things, but I can't help them with like those things. And she's willing to do it. So now people are talking again about Luke being gay. And I guess it's just like a non-issue. Like, who? What does that mean? All right, you guys. So that is the end of this. And if you guys have anything to say, any final thoughts, go ahead and put them over. Also, if you guys have noticed, I have merchandise. If you go to my videos, I don't know if they're underneath. Oh, no. Is it going to be here? Let's see. It might be. If you're using your phone right now, if you go out of the chat, you'll see the merchandise down below. So I have just Call Me Walk, no, BU Be True mugs. I have t-shirts. I have hoodies. I'm going to add more stuff once I see how all of this works. It was so hard for me to get all that stuff up there. I am the worst at technology. Even though I work in technology every single day in every facet of my life, anytime anything new comes my way, I have a freak out. So it took me 2 months to finally get this going. I've had this logo since the beginning of February and it is beginning of April and I'm just printing shirts. So, whew, but we're here. We made it. We're doing things in 2019. All right, so check out the Teespring shop down below. See if there's anything you want, and purchase it if you do. All right, you guys. I believe it does, Mona. It's Teespring. I believe it does. Is there going to be a reunion? I don't know, Jojo. I don't know. Ooh, 183 people in this room and 56 likes. Can I get some more likes? You're going to have to go to, Bobby Whitney, you're going to have to go to Teespring. I actually didn't look and see at the sizes. I should go do that. I'll do that. I don't care if someone is gay, but I could care. Sign up for the show. But I think that it depends on if they want to be, if they want to participate, like, in being gay. You know? Like, I've said this before, that I think that there are plenty of men who either because of familial strains or like, and just culturally, like, they just can't be in a homosexual relationship. Like, they have to be with a woman. And I don't necessarily know that that is him, but I know that there are cases like that, like in the Mormon community, in some Islamic communities, like, or Muslim communities. Like, there are gay men in those communities who marry women and have children. They're just, you know. So I feel like if Luke, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, it is still wrong, but I don't think it's malicious. I'm going to Google light skin pancakes. Oh, they were. That's what she was trying to say. They look a little light. I'm like, oh, they're light skin pancakes. All right, you guys. So that is the end of this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like that was a weird, long-ass outro. So remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.